should not do that. So hello everybody. Why hello internet? I really like that guy. It's like the best intro. Why hello internet? I don't know why, but I'm thinking of just saying why hello internet and welcome to Jackass. I was like, funny enough, before I start intros, I watched the Jackass Forever trailer that came out yesterday, and I cannot believe that they somehow, well, I guess these people have been doing this for a while, but they somehow convinced these people who are like 40, 50 to do these crazy things again. Like one of the statements is like, yo, Johnny Knoxville is 49, he's not 50, and after 50, concussions are a problem, but before 50, you're fine. It's like, what the hell? Like somebody said, like literally after the, literally after the end of the trailer, I was just sitting there looking at my computer, and I was just like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Oh well, Eh, I don't know. I mean, they enjoy it, but man, I like. Wow. Alright, that was kind of random. But let me actually go talk about the fact that I'm gonna stream. Let me go. I'm gonna be on Twitter and LinkedIn. So da public build in public. Oh, right. I'm actually on stream, so I should be saying something as opposed to quietly typing. Because people are just staring at me doing, like, yo, is he dead? Did he die standing up or sitting down? Or somebody call 911. Uh, uh, Give me a sec. Twitch. Twitch. I really want to capitalize the T in Twitch.tv. It's just really weird to not capitalize it because I capitalized my name um in in it. It's just weird. It's like something that I guess I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm the best English person. Even that last sentence was horrible, but I don't know. It just kind of is weird, It's like I capitalize my name, but I don't capitalize the name of the address that I am inputting. So it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird to me. Cool. Okay, so that is advertising done. Um, let me let me go before I officially start the intro. Oh, okay, so man, I spent so much of the 15 minutes not actually talking about and not actually doing intros. It's a good thing I added a buffer of 50 minutes. I might have to add a buffer of 30 minutes because because I'm doing all of this stupidness. I don't know. What the hell was that? Okay. I don't know. As I get more used to the streaming, as I get more used to the streaming game, you know what I mean? So as I get more used to streaming, we'll be able to sort that out. Right. So hello everybody. I'm Chad Stewart. I'll be your host this evening, even though it's not evening. Okay. One moment as I go tell my phone to shut up. Oh, that is not what I want. Hala. Yes. Right. So, let me try to mess with the camera a little bit. I don't like this angle because it's actually hard for me to see the screen. I'm using the my laptop's webcam, and so I want to be able to see the screen, but I want you to be able to see me, and so it's this weird fight of me trying to kind of um me trying to fight my posture in essence. And the camera. Anyways, hi everybody. I'm Chad. Um so a few things. If you've tuned into my first two streams, first the my last two streams. Let's go with last two streams because that makes more sense. If you've tuned into my last two streams, um, things are going to be a little bit, tad bit, just a tad, a little bit different today. Um, Mostly in the length of the stream. The stream's going to go on for like 3 hours. Today instead of 5. Even though yesterday, which is the last time I streamed, it was much more reasonable. Um, Mostly I didn't. I felt like I was cramming like all of this information into into like a single session, and like it went better yesterday because I took regular breaks. By the way, please take regular breaks. Please don't sit in a chair for 5 hours. As a person who sat in a chair for 5 hours for a very consistent portion of their life and have I mean I don't want to say have back pain now because I've been working on it, but have posture issues. Please don't do that. It hurts. The always. No, but in all seriousness, what you call it? Like just streaming for 5 hours straight can be tiring. And I'm very new to streaming, and to be honest, the thing that I kind of want to push for is consistency more than anything else. So I just want to definitely be able to like, okay, I can come on stream and I can be consistent. Also, the 5 hours thing presents a problem. There's an issue of taking a break during the stream, and I don't want to turn the stream off, or I don't want to be just kind of like babbling for an hour, in an attempt to fill the dead air, with for the break. What else? Yeah, so 3 hours. Technically, the last hours, for the last hour, it's 2 hours of doing coding work, and then the last hour is like open discussion. I call it the open mic. It's whatever, just open discussion. Maybe something you want to talk about in tech. Maybe something I want to talk about in tech. Because I run the stream, not you. But yeah. uh, just you know, stuff like that. Uh, I guess that's pretty much it. So that's kind of like the format of the stream right now. Obviously, it's kind of whatever. Right now, it's a little bit more open ended. So as things go. Oh hey! Oh hey, Scooter, what's up? Thanks for showing up. Thank you very much. I'm just talking into the camera like a fool. I'm just looking like an idiot right here. Oh, actually, let me set my phone since it's 9:15. Let me set my phone so that I have the 50 minutes. Oh, wait, yeah, here we go. So I have the timer here. So, um, right. So let me give a little bit of background on myself. Um, I'm ChadRStewart. I'm in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm software engineer, mostly front end engineer. I'm gonna do this every day. Mostly a front end engineer. Who the heck is that? Random people driving into my driveway. Stop doing that. But yeah, I'm a front end engineer from Kingston, Jamaica. Um, I've done full stack engineering before, but I'm not necessarily the best at it. So this stream is really me attempting to learn back end engineering. And how I've decided to do that is through some advice that I got, which was pretty much like, if you really want to learn back end engineering, start with the data layer. Start with whatever you're using to do data persistence. Um, you really want to focus on getting data in and out of that place and understanding that situation first before going into like API design and so on and so forth, because it will inform your decision, or it will deform how you it decide deform did I say deform? Clearly I don't know how to speak, but it will inform how you upskill in API design. It just informs those that decision making. I liked the idea, so I'm going with it. So and I'm to be quite honest, I've been enjoying it because to be honest, I don't use database technologies very often. So it's very different. Let me move the camera a bit. So it's very different for me. Um, right. So the technology I'm using is MySQL. Um, I don't want to say it doesn't matter because obviously, like the 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 brand, the flavor of SQL you get is kind of different for whichever technology you use. But I'm using MySQL because I'm is something that I learned. I'm more comfortable with. Um, I'm trying my best to not be to be more technology agnostic. So like I'm learning the concepts more than I'm learning the technology. Granted, I mean I'm using MySQL, so I'm going to be learning specifically how MySQL does things, but I'm just trying to keep the concepts in my head, like the fundamentals, as best as I can. And yeah, that's really it. That's the idea right now. Um, I have a YouTube channel. I did not mention this last time until the absolute end of the stream. I have a YouTube channel. Um, I have what has been going on the YouTube channel for right now is really just the VODs of this stream. I do intend on making other videos. Um, just kind of like maybe like on topics that I have an idea on. I'm not necessarily sure. To be honest, like um, I'm pretty sure like the last hour will probably make either good content or something. But the point of the matter is, I have a YouTube channel. I would appreciate if you subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Uh, I would really appreciate a follow here. Oh, let me talk. Let me say the YouTube channel is the same. ChadRStewart. Um, yeah, would really appreciate a subscription there. Would really appreciate a follow here. Um, you know, like yeah. So, is there anything else? I can't really think of anything else. So let's get into it. Okay, desktop capture. The void. I'm sorry. I'm quite easily distracted. All right. So for hold on. give me 1 second. I always forget to do this, so I am gonna go bring up the Twitch chat. I do not know why I'm turning off desktop capture to do this, but I just leave me alone, dang it. uh, okay, so there's the Twitch chat. I just want to make it always on top, always visible, always on visible workspace. Huh. Alright, cool. It's in the corner. Workmen are yelling because workmen, I guess. Oh, there's a building being built to the right of me. Oh, I forgot that I've mirrored this, so no, I don't look stupid. Like I would literally before I would reach to the left, I would reach to the right, thinking that my mic was there, and I'd reach for air, and I'd be like, dang it, and then I was just like, yo, can I just mirror this? Can I flip this? Because I stare at myself sometimes, I look longingly at myself while streaming. I'm like looking at my image here in OBS. I guess it's just kind of comfortable for me. But yeah, then I'll be like, oh, my mic is in the wrong position, and I'll go reach to the right, and I'll be like, I'm just grabbing air. I finally fixed it, so now I, it's actually a mirror, as opposed to, well, I don't. Anyways, right. So I have the Twitch chat there, desktop capture. And so what we will do, I also have my timer for. Oh, funny enough, so Scooter's the reason why I'm making it a point that every hour I stop and I stretch. Mainly because she advised it, and to be honest, that break has really helped. Like for the 5 hour stream, like I actually feel a little bit more comfortable doing 5 hours, even though I'm not going to, just because of the breaks that I took in between. Like the only time I felt drained was actually after drinking a lot of sugar, and that's just like my general reaction to it. To drinking a lot of sugar and then just having like the having a lot of carbs, or I guess whatever. But drinking a lot of sugar and then after a while I just crashed for a little bit. Anyhow, so this is the general game plan for what we're going to do. Um, which is like just kind of the we hope to build we hope to we're going to build a full stack application. At least initially we want to build like a toy application. I chose a to-do list because it's simple, it's something that everybody's done before, and so like there's potentially a lot of places for inspiration, because this is mostly a learning activity. And then I think I would like to implement something that is more valuable to people. Like for instance, here I have the tech is hiring. Oh, for those who don't know, I run. I administrate a hashtag on Twitter. Tech is hiring. So if you have a job opportunity or you yourself are looking for one, you can post the opportunity, or you can post yourself. Post yourself saying that you're looking for an opportunity, and tag the tweet with tech is hiring, and you people will be able to find it there. It has a bot, and the bot kind of acts like a list of 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 all the opportunities. Um, but somebody suggested that I should make it a website, and so that is something that I'm really interested in doing. Um, Dang it, how do I get this? But that's something I'm really interested in doing. So that's why I have that there. I'm just going to mess with this because it's bothering me. Tad, just a tad. Okay, cool. That's fine. All right. So yeah. So this is kind of like the general idea. Good morning. Are you going to open source the website? Probably. Probably like more than likely. Thank. By the way, hey Jason, thanks for popping in. Like I said, probably. To be honest, I haven't really open sourced anything before, so that will be a bit of an adventure. But yeah, yeah, like um, I to be honest, I don't plan on making any money off of Tech is hiring. Literally the reason why I did it is because I had made a suggestion. It's like, hey, why doesn't this thing exist, you know? And then somebody kind of DM'd me and is like, hey, are you going to do anything about it? And I was just like, well, I guess I am now, and that's literally how I started. So yeah, I'll probably open source it. Like, really, I just kind of want to just get it live. Well, yeah, I kind of just want to get. You don't need to want to make money. You don't have to share your code. Folks can contribute to make it better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't have a, and that's, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for tech is hiring. I don't really have a plan for it whatsoever at all. You know, I'm just like trying to fill the need as best as I can. Like, I really, or forks can fork it and steal it. Yeah. I mean, go ahead. You know, like, to be quite honest, the end game for tech is hiring, because right now I actively go and look for things to put into the hashtag. Right, the end goal is so that people will use it without me having to say anything. That's the end goal. So if people want to steal it, go right ahead. Like, that's the goal for me. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's less about the service. It's more that it exists and it's available to people and people can leverage it more than anything else. So, in keeping with that thought process, it would make more sense to open source it, because then other people can, like, I have the bot in my GitHub. I technically haven't open sourced the bot, but to be quite honest with you, the bot is not all that hard to make in the first place. Um, but yeah, like, I'm definitely cool with it. Yeah, that is the spirit of open source. It's really leveraging everybody's help to just make the thing better. You know what I mean? But that's kind of like I don't know. I don't have a plan. You know, I just kind of I don't want to say I'm flying by the seat of my pants with it, but it's just like, if I see a need, a specific need, I'll try to focus on that need right now. But I'm a little bit more. I don't have a long term vision for it outside of people are using it regularly, and I don't have to motivate them to do so. Um, Anyhow, so in terms of the to do app, Um, so this is the notes that I made for last stream, and these notes will consistently kind of exist for the time, at the very least for as we're exploring the data layer. So I just wanted the first thing I wanted to do was this define what CRUD is in my head, and then just kind of compare it to SQL terms. Um, so create, is pretty much, there are no rows, or we are adding rows. I should actually change that. We are adding rows to a database with data in it specifically. So it's not just adding a row but it's empty, but adding a row with data in it. And in terms of SQL, that would be the insert command. Reading is like, in the there's data that exists in the database, and we want to read that data, and in SQL terms that would be the select command. Update is, there exist rows in the database, and we want to select one by conditions, and um, we want to select one by conditions and rewrite. Okay, I guess I'm Elmer Fudd now. We white that data. uh, rewire. God, I can't say this. And do stuff to the data. In SQL terms, it will be the update command. I have a note here. Note if the row is defined by condition does not exist, then if the row defined by the condition is not does not exist, you use insert. Good lord, insert instead. This was from a discussion I was having with Aaron and Matthew, who was in the stream last time. I think it was Matthew who was talking about there are some database technologies where update will also double as insert in the case of this situation where the update command cannot actually find the data that you the update command cannot actually find the data um that you want to change, which would be interesting. Um, would be interesting. Well, actually, you know what? We haven't really used the update command yet, so that'll probably be today. And then delete. We've actually used the delete command a few times because I just wanted to reset the database. So this is there's rows that exist, and we want to remove them. We want to remove the entire row. I made mention that it would throw an error if if there was no row selected, or there weren't any selectable rows. I don't think I made that mention here. This is just kind of like my idea of just saying, hey, this is what we're doing. Terms equals delete, and then this is just a few other stuff from kind of the day. Yeah. Hey, hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming into the stream, Alexandria. Really appreciate it. So Alexandria is on Twitter. She herself is going to be streaming soon. So I just kind of made mention of that because she had made mention of something on Twitter, and I told her that one of the things that I kind of that's helping me trying to solve this problem that I had. She was talking about wanting to what you call it. She was talking about wanting to. I'm sorry, my brain. I think slowly, but she's talking about having wanting to interact with people while she codes. She was saying she was having a problem coding, like just sitting down and just coding. Yeah, coding with other people. Yes. So what I found, what's kind of attracted me to streaming, yeah, and interact more. Yeah, what's kind of attracted me to streaming is literally this, right? Having the Twitch chat here, having people I can talk to here. Because to be quite honest, I would literally do this work on my own. I wouldn't have gotten nearly as much nearly as much information I had. I wouldn't be laughing as much, which is actually fairly important to me. Um, and I would just be here by myself, and it's like it's really hard to stay motivated. At least for me, nowadays. So, anyways, thank you, Alexandria, for coming in. I would really appreciate it if you give her a follow so that when she starts her own stream, which is soon, she'll have some people that will come in. We'll be able to see that she's streaming quite immediately. Would really appreciate that. But yeah, thank you for coming in. Just even if it's for a visit, thank you very much. I was struggling opening chat. I followed you. Thank you for the mention. No problem, no problem whatsoever. Anyways, this is what I'm doing. So let me go through. I'm probably going to really. Yeah, you know what? I am definitely going to make it that it's 30 minutes. It's going to be a 30-minute thing instead of 50 minutes because I feel like the opening is a while. Um, so something new. So all right. So I'm working through SQL Workbench mainly so that I have a GUI to work with. I also do stuff in the command line as well. I also do stuff in the command line as well as I just clearly repeated. Um, Mainly because I'm comfortable in the command line. I have the GUI here, so that if there's an issue, I can just kind of look through it. So, like for instance, when we first started, we were actually having a problem connecting to the DB, and just kind of having the server status here and having the user privileges. Oh, I guess I can't. Yeah, I don't have the privileges to see privileges. This user doesn't have that. Just being able to kind of peek in, and then so this is the select. We have two tables. No, they. Oh, right. Because we actually need to use the database. Let me let me just write that real fast. Use to do app, and then that should give us. Yeah, cool. Select from no database selected. To do's. Yeah. So let me clean that up now since we're using that. No database selected. That's so strange. Oh, right. Sorry, I'm looking at the initial. My bad. All right, let me clear. Let me clear. Anyways, so we have two tables in this database. Where was I? I was actually explaining why I had to go. It doesn't matter. People ask questions. So we have two tables in the database. To dos and users. We mainly have two tables here. Specifically for just messing around with the select. With select, I mainly because I don't do a lot of joins. I like when I was designing my tables when I was doing this work. I kind of put everything in one big table because that's kind of how I was taught. I didn't learn about like database normalization for a while, so never really had the need to use joins. Had a need to do like other things like conditionals. You know, I don't even think not so much limits because we would just use the conditionals to pull the amount of rows that we needed. But yeah, so I'm just messing around with select right now. Like for instance, this was the last select I wrote. I have a limit of one because I just wanted to look at the first entry. To be quite honest, there's only really one entry so far, so I'm probably going to spend the next couple of minutes stuffing the database with rows so that I can do like multiple, I can, like select multiple rows and just see how that works. So that's really the whole thing right now is just literally me playing around with these commands. Um, what was it? Um, so I guess right now we're in read. Like I was asking if there was anything special about insert. There is something. I think if we get more into like database normalization, um, there will probably be a thing where I would need to, uh, where it's like, how would you insert into multiple DBs at the same time? Is that just making just making different SQL queries and putting it into the DB at the same time? Do you make one query? Like even in my mind right now, if you make one query and it fails, then at the very least the whole thing fails, right? I don't know if that's even possible, but like if you make one query to insert data into multiple tables and then it fails, then at the very least it will roll back to the point before you attempted the query, right? But if you make multiple queries and it fails, in essence you have dirty data somewhere, right? So like is that a problem? How do you solve that problem? You know what I mean? Like I know there's like mechanisms to roll back like queries. I don't know what those are. I don't know what that even looks like, to be quite honest with you. I just know that they exist. But like this is the kind of the whole point of this is to ask these type of questions. It's really more explorationy. Is more explorationy. So it's just like and hopefully Aaron or Matt comes in who they seem to have a fair amount of DB knowledge and they can answer these type of questions. You know, like I'm kind of hoping, because I'm not as knowledgeable. I'm kind of hoping to leverage the viewers and their knowledge, and if anything, point me in the right direction. But if anything else, a viewer is Google, so I can just poke Google and be like, "Hey, how do you solve this?" And Google will be like, "Go over there. Now leave me alone." Anyhow, Um, so I think I will try to just stuff the database with data. Um, did I save this? I think I saved this query. I just want to make sure I saved it because I actually kind of want to have it. Um, all right. So let me actually. I think. Let me. Oh, right, that's right. Because yeah, so this is just really the thing we have. We only have one test user with fake password is fake, and then we have one to do. So I will spend a bit of time. It'll kind of be slow and boring, but I'll spend a bit of time to stuffing this with stuff. Um, Here. So I think we need to put in test name, description. This is defaultly set to false. This is a boolean. This is automatically generated. Oh, no problem, no problem. All right, you have a good one. I'll see you when you get back. Um, this is generated automatically, and we need to add this. So it's this, and this. So to do name, to do desk, and user ID. So here's what we will do. Since this is here. Okay, so insert. Give me a second. I have some stuff in my keyboard. I clean off. So insert, insert into to dos. I'm not going to create another user. I don't need to create another user. Insert into to do. Actually, I probably should create one more user. Let's do that. Users. Uh, let me see. Let me see the users. Username, password. That's it. So user underscore name, user underscore password. Is it password or pass? Password. It's not even user underscore password. Should I name it user underscore password? I don't know. I'll probably have to ask naming conventions for that. Alright. I don't know. I'll pester somebody later about that. So what values? Test user. It needs to be a string. Test user 2. This is an even faker password. It's actually not even the worst password. Ironically, it's making a whole statement. It's still pretty terrible because it's all lowercase, but it's fairly long. Like if you made some of these uppercase and then you change like this to like a 4 or something like that, like you can actually make this password not that bad at all. You know, it's still a you know what? Let me not talk about security and make everybody realize that I'm very trash. Anyways, cool. So, and then we will run this query again. So now we have two users. Um, so into I'll be inserting into. Let me just change this to do's. And it's two underscore do underscore name. Two underscore do underscore desk, and then oh right, we need one more. We need user underscore ID. Right. And let me see. I mean, it can be just a same data. We're gonna get the rows back anyway. Test name. This is test data. And we will make this one for now. We will insert that into to do. Really wish enter actually ran this. We would insert that into. Is there like a? How do you execute? There has to be what you call it, a key binding for executing SQL scripts here. Query execute all. Execute current statement. Control return. Okay, cool. I will try that next time, also known as the next 30 seconds or so. Funny enough, I can try it right now. Huzzah! It does not work. Okay. Uh, it. Okay, so it executes the line. Doesn't execute the. It executes the statement, so it doesn't execute everything. Um, all or selection. Let me see. Control Shift. Cool. There it is. So it executes everything in the file. It doesn't execute the line itself. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Alright, this is test data, test name. Um, so in our select, because we're still playing with the join, where's the, oh, this is the thing. In our select, we're still playing with the join. Because, okay, yeah, we're getting the IDs here. So, and I want to remove this limit of 1 because it's not important. I actually want a bunch of them. So we will add just more of this stuff. Um, let's see. Test name. This is test data. Let's add this twice, 2 more times. One, two, and then that should give us 4 entries to work with. Here we go. Should go 4 entries. Yeah, so we have 4 entries here. 1, 2, 3, 4, all from user 1. So what we will do is we'll just make some modifications here, and then we'll add a couple of changes here, just because I don't want to seem all that boring. Another one. Okay, I'm not as clever as I thought I was. You have to keep yourself entertained when sometimes you have to keep yourself entertained when you're working, man. Because you'll just be typing and like, why am I doing this? The TV is. Oh, speaking of which, let me turn off the television. 1 moment, please. Right. So, I actually watch Twitch a lot. So I was watching. I play fighting games. So I was watching Guilty Gear Strive. I was watching a very good. I don't even want to say very good. One of the best Japanese players, um, who are like who's very well known for Guilty Gear. And I was just watching him. He's playing Soul. And then I went to start streaming, and then I realized, oh crap, his stream is in the background. So it'd be kind of messed up. It doesn't get caught in camera, thankfully, but I'm just trying to be wary of playing other people's content, especially copyrighted, in the background, because technically this is my room, so I am doing my, just life stuff here. Right. What is it? I need to not do that. Right. So let me clear this again. Is there a? I guess not. That's cool. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Let's run this again. Yeah, so we have a fair amount of data that is different enough. Um, so okay, so as you can clearly see, so we're selecting everything from both to-dos and users, right? This query here is just really for me to kind of just ping the DB so that um, to ping the DB so that I can just like see what's in it and then just kind of mess around with that stuff. Um, so it's just for kind of me, right? Like as the person, quote unquote, administrating this thing. Um, so what I'm trying to think of doing, because we can do like, I guess I'll show this. So this is what we did. I need to stop doing it. You know what? Haha. So copy. I'll show this, and it doesn't have a limiter, so there's limiter removal for Yu-Gi-Oh nerds. Right. So it's selecting. Hmm, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? Where to do user? Okay, so there's a problem here where to do user ID equals 1. That's a good thing that I did this. You see? Like, it's funny, I wrote that. I don't remember why I did that. Alright, so it's equal 1. And it's still giving me user ID. Really? Why is that? That is so strange. Select username. Um, join on to do. Oh, okay. To do where, and I think we put a where here. Where uh users dot user underscore ID is equal to 1. And this should give us all the information from both of these tables, but for one user. I believe so. Let me make a fool of myself right now. Ha ha! I did not. I am a SQL god. Ha 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 ha. Bingo. Oh yeah. Sorry. So I'm not used to all of this. All right, so um, this is bothering me. Just this long ass query, so I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. Um, so actually, think since you're here, Jason, I actually would like to ask you how you would do this. Is this no? I don't know. How would you do this cleanup? So like, you have this here. I know you would just for every comma, you would just make a new line. And really, it doesn't matter to SQL. SQL is just looking for the semicolon. It's looking for all of these keywords and a semicolon to stop. But would this make sense? So it's like, okay, you have select, right? And this you're selecting all of these rows, and then you have this, which is in essence the conditional, the conditional, the in essence the mechanism you're selecting from, right? And then this is a conditional on any of the data from that mechanism in the first place. Would this be a good way of of structuring it, or would you structure it literally line to line? Each keyword has its own line. So like select has its own line, and then depending on what's after select, um, you would clean up there, but then from would have its own line. So like it'd be from users inner join. Like this doesn't seem to like make as much sense to me. If I were reading it like this feels more readable, but I don't know what the convention would be for making these type of queries. Do you have any opinions on that, Jason, by any chance? Um, and so hopefully, it depends. You're definitely a senior software engineer. It's much more readable if each keyword starts on a new line. Okay, okay. So let me try that then. Um, by the way, I will have opinions. I will. If I disagree with you, I'll flat out let you know if I do. Um, let me see. You know what? Let us actually. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to make a new query out of it. Obviously, we're not going to run it. And then I am going to do this and I am going to compare the both of them. I know this line can potentially get outrageously long. Sometimes I will put the keyword in its own line and then break up the part of the query on separate lines with a tab. Part of the query on separate lines. Oh, really? Okay, so sometimes I will put the keyword on its own line and then break up parts of that, breakdown of that part of the query on separate lines with a tab. Let me see if I'm understanding it. Okay, so sometimes I will put the keyword on its own line and break down of that part of the query on separate lines with a tab. Kind of like what this is. Kind of like how this is set up. By the way, I probably shouldn't tab. I probably should space. I know somebody would tell me to tab. Well, I know. You know what? Let me not even get into that argument because that's a war waiting to happen. Um. All right. So. Um. All right. Here's how I feel about this. Like this. Yeah, it's actually harder to structure. It's harder to structure you like code in Twitch chat. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's really hard to structure the code in Twitch chat. Like, phew, I am literally trying to figure out how to. Okay, here's what I will do. Give me a second. I will make. In fact, because I can. Here's what I will do. Here's what I will do. I will make a new thing here. So you can type it into the chat or into the thing here, and you can show where in God's name. Come on, where is this? Give me a second. Let me. There's no plus sign. Hmm. How the hell do you? How do you? Come on. More Google Sites, Google Drawings. Okay. Dang it. Let me see. Oh man, I don't want to show you any personal stuff, which I'm already showing you. Man, why is this? Why is this being so stupid today? Okay, how do I add? Just. Nope, that's not it. Damn it! Screw it. I'll just use this. So I'm gonna make this editable for everyone temporarily. Is it editable viewer? So editor. Cool. So I am going to I'm pasting the link here. Um, so just pop into that link and just kind of put down the way you would format it, and yeah. But let me give my opinion. Thank you. Let me give my opinion so far. Um, I am new to this, so like my opinion is what is it? It is not as educated as it could possibly be, but I really like this setup over this setup. Even though this setup is cleaner, like these three lines, they in my head they serve a singular purpose, and I feel like it would be better to have that singular purpose on that one line, because it's like it's easier for me to read as a reader, to say, okay, this is doing one job even if it's using multiple keywords to do the one job, right? So it's easier for me to associate that there's one thing happening, or a set of things happening. Okay, cool. I'll go peek at it later. Later, as in within 2 minutes, as I finish this explanation. Um, like in this, it's easier for me to associate that there is like an action that I should think of as one thing on this line, and then this is like each of these is an action, except for this obviously, but this is just for readability. So it's like select, all of this is one action, and because this is too long to fit on one line, or it's unreasonably long, then they're broken up, right? But this is like still one action, because it's like, as developers, we have things where it's like, oh, we declare things, and then we have a list of the things that are in it, right? Whereas this, on one line, this feels like a singular thing with a bunch of components that builds up this singular thing for me. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm doing the join so we can join, and this is how we're going to do the join, right? This feels like a singular action, and then we do the conditional, which also feels like a singular action. As opposed to this, which is more readable, because although it's less likely to, like, expand into the abyss, but because it's just the keywords, it's harder to make an association with, like, these three keywords don't feel as associated with one another, even though in my head they are. But that's my opinion. So let me put this back to viewer. Done. Okay, select user to do so on and so forth from users. I actually like this. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. Let me see if I can make it like that. Give me a sec. If there's so, how would I do? So it would be. I actually like that a lot. So it would literally be. I'm gonna use, since I already used tabs, I want to be consistent. So I like this a lot, actually. I really like this. This feels so much better, you know? Again, with the kind of same thought process, you could even do something like this, where, like, select, and it feels, because it's like, no, all the formatting feels the same, right? It's like we're selecting all of this stuff. So, like, say for instance, let me copy. Um, let me. So, say instead of selecting these particular things, you can just put the star here. The formatting still feels. I didn't put the thing here. I didn't make that. Let me actually make that change up here, because I'm gonna forget it. The formatting feels the same, right? You have the major, you have the you. I mean, we could do this with all of the what you call it, all of the keywords. Let me see. I think this is the one with all the keywords. Okay, cool. So Yeah, so like even if it was just a star, it still fits the formatting. It's like, hey, we have the major keyword that's doing the job, right? That's doing the thing that we want. Um, we have we have the thing that we want the keyword to work on, right? So like for select, we want to select everything. From we want to get the table from either users in this case where's in this case users um oh 1 minute users in this case, sorry, and here users, we want to get it from this table, or in this case how we are the joins that we do. I guess you could do something like this where how would you do this? How would you do this? I guess how would you do this? You could do something like this, uh, so that it's just easier to, like for instance, from user inner join to dos, so that there's just more of an association. So as opposed to that, it would be literally like this whole thing, because now it feels like they're associated, but they're on their own line, but they feel associated. If you put the comma um, at at the beginning of the select, you can comment out those things individually. What do you mean exactly? Let me see. Uh, if you put the comma at the beginning of each select item, so instead of this, you would do that, and then that, and that, and that. I'm just gonna get rid of the commas at the beginning of each select item. So I'm assuming this would be that as well. This feels weird. Oh, there's this one. I didn't get rid of this one. Okay. What do you mean you can comment out things individually? Hmm. I actually don't even know how to write comments in SQL. Thank you for bringing that up. Let me see. SQL comments. I don't even know how to do that. Comments within SQL. Uh, how would you? Which actually makes sense, because if you were to comment this out, yeah, if you put that at the beginning of one of those lines instead of the first one, it will comment it out. So here, oh, cool. Oh, and then because you have the comma here, oh, 1, 2, 3. Is it 1, 2, 3? I mean, it was fine. Maybe it's different in MySQL because this looks commented out to me. I mean, we can even ask that question right now. Is it commented out? Um, yeah. Let's see. It said, so I'm going to select. Yeah, it commented it out. All right, so let me write that down. Um, because I feel like that's important. Uh, comment. Comments in MySQL. I'll put MySQL in case it's not the same in other SQL flavors. In MySQL is and I like how you put space. Is space, and then also when building multiple um when building a query with multiple items, put put commas at the beginning of the at the beginning of the item instead of the end, so that you can easily comment out that item. Item. Did I put? Yeah, item. Because I know item and times anagram. Comment out that item. Let me put a EG. EG. Item one. Item two. Item three. Up here. Maybe item one. Item two. Item three. Instead of down here. Instead of, let me put a space here and V. Cool. Right. Okay, so the alarm that just that just went off. Excuse me. The alarm that just went off was my phone telling me that I should stop sitting. So what I will do is I will set it to desktop capture no cam so that I can just get up and kind of chill. I guess I'll put this here. Right. Yeah. And I will just get up. I'll still be able to see the chat. So if you have any questions, ask them now, or forever hold your peace. You know, as people would say. But yeah. Um, that's really good. Like they even just sitting down talking about structuring SQL queries. Thank you, by the way. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. You know, I actually I guess I'll stand. All that rubbing you here is the chair. Um, so I don't know how upset people will be at me doing this. Um, to be quite honest, I really like this. Like for me, it's really important to have that association that all of these things are doing like what I would view as one job. You know, so I don't know how let me. I would combine lines 22. So yeah, like so that's what I have down here. So actually, let me not do that. Sorry, 22 to 25. Yeah, that's what I have down here. But I really like this setup a lot. Thank you very much, Jason. I really like this setup a lot. I don't know why I'm getting so hype about just formatting, but I like it. I really like it a lot. You know, like obviously writing a really long SQL query from left to right is like not even feasible, right? Unless it's a really short SQL query. Um, Writing it like this, even before when we wrote it, how did we write it before? I think it wasn't. No, it was just. It was this was still had space, but they were on the same line. Like these were on the same line. Even writing it like this, it really helps with readability because it's almost like what would you call those things? Where you have like a title and then you have a almost said comment. You had a bullet point. It feels like bullet points in the formatting, especially since we're used to bullet points as people who work well. We're used to bullet points. It just feels much easier to read, you know. But yeah, like I definitely like this because again, it's associated with one action. You know what I mean? Like it's we're trying to accomplish or not one action. I keep saying one action. We're trying to accomplish one goal with this entire statement. You know, and I just feel it'll be significantly more readable. And say we're showing this code to somebody who doesn't really know SQL, right? It's much more easier for them to ask questions on select and star from and this statement. You know, even if it's like, especially with like so. all the keywords, all the SQL keywords are 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 capitalized, right? Except for this one. I need to. Why is this not capitalized? Me. I don't think I think I capitalized. I didn't capitalize that. Sorry. But yeah, all the SQL keywords are capitalized, right? So no, like a newer person will be like, why are these are capitalized? They can actually look at them and be like, okay, I know that I'm in SQL, or at the very least, I can guess that I'm in SQL somehow. Okay, MySQL inner join. You know what I mean? So it's so much easier for people to decipher things when they just don't understand what they're looking at, but it just makes it easier for them to Google, right? Which is better for everybody because it makes all the code easier to read. But again, thank you so much. Right, sometimes I'm looking for specific parts of the query and I can extract that information I need quickly with the structure. Exactly. Absolutely exactly. You know what I mean? Okay, what part of the query is building the table that I want to draw my information from? The from, even though there's more keywords, it's right there. You look for from and then it's like okay, and then it's like okay, this entire statement is building the table that I'm pulling my information from. What is and then it's like okay, there's a where. So now I'm limiting the information. I'm limiting the scope of the information with the where. You know what I mean? Like I completely agree with you. It just makes it so much easier to find things and to just make associations. I'm sorry. I'm a readability nut. Like I go out of my way to structure my code for readability. To be quite honest with you, it's just my thing. I just like doing it. You know, like I feel like code should read like a story or a sentence. It should read as close to English as you can possibly make it. You know what I mean? Just I don't know. And it's like there's anyways, yeah. That's just me. That's just me. Um, so I'm sitting back down. Uh, Let me take the next couple of minutes. Why is this not working? To do. This is strange. Why is this not working? So let's take this out. So that's working. Why was this broken? Yeah, readability is important in writing code, especially for people that would have to maintain the code after. Yeah, so like I don't have statistics on this, but everybody always talks about your code is read significantly more than it is written. So it's like again, I don't have statistics about this, but I will agree with that statement. And so writing code that is easily readable and easy to understand is much more important than writing like say one-liners or like I feel like the delicate balance we have as engineers or as just professionals, right, is kind of like this balance of elegance solving the problem and readability. Because it's like elegance a lot of the times you're writing elegant code and I don't want to say the only way to solve the problem is writing elegant code, but you a lot of the times there's a reason for writing elegant code, right? Like you have a need for it. You know what I mean? Like you could write like whatever, but it wouldn't solve the very specific problem that you have. Um, but if it's elegant and unreadable, then it solves the problem one time, or it solves that very specific problem, and God knows if anybody, like God help anybody who wants to try and change it. You know what I mean? Like that's how you build legacy code. Is you come up with an elegant solution that's completely unreadable. Like it immediately becomes what we understand as legacy code. Immediately. Um, but yeah, that's the reason why I'm a readability crazy person. Like I will take readability over elegance any day of the week. you know. But that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let me go put this back now. So let me take. I'm literally gonna take all of this. I hope it formats exactly the way I want it here. Um, so I wanna put that there. I think it's close enough. I'll clean up some of the formatting. Um, I'll clean up some of the formatting here. I don't mind going through and doing that. I'm not gonna clean up the formatting for that other one. I'm literally streaming me being in class. I wonder. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if that's a new thing. You go to school and then you just stream yourself going to school. That'd be probably a really interesting industry. Not industry, but yeah, not industry, but it'd probably be a really interesting like subsection of Twitter. People literally streaming themselves going to school. I'm pretty sure there's legal reasons why you can't do that. Like you know, like your expectation of not necessarily private, whatever. I don't know. There's probably some legal boundaries for just streaming people randomly. But that'd be probably cool. I wouldn't be surprised. That should be something. Yeah, that should be something, right? Like streaming people literally going to school. This is completely out of left field. But streaming people going to school. Can you imagine like going to a math class and it's like I can watch you attend like calculus, you know what I mean? And it's like if you're bored, right? But like the Twitch chat can engage with the entire class. You know what I mean? So it's like the chat can engage with the teacher, the chat can engage with the students. Well, like to a point where it's not too distracting for the students, so it's like it'll probably engage with the teacher the most. You know what I mean? Like, and then it would be like, I guess I don't want to say augmented. Augmented was the first word that came to my head, but it could be like an augmented classroom. So you have a mixture of people who are on site and then people who are virtual. You know, but it feels like a regular classroom because the teacher is engaging with them in the same way. You know what I mean? And it's not like Zoom, so it's more casual. So like the Twitch chat is more casual. They don't have stake in the class, so like they're not trying to get what you call it a grade or anything. Um, but but they can engage with the class. You know, maybe like I don't know, something interesting. Just a new part of entertainment. You know, you can stream anything, you can stream anything. You know what I mean? People stream themselves walking outside, and they have thousands of views. Why can't you stream people being in the classroom? Anyhow, that was completely random. I don't even know why that came into my head. Right, so let's get back to this. Um, so I am going to get rid of this. So you know what? I'm going to actually make it a point to do that format now. I just hit the caps lock. I'm going to make it a point to do that format now. So I am literally going to have this formatted in exactly the same way. Because I'm going to be a stickler about it. Right. Okay, so we have this here. Let me uncomment this. We have this here. Clear. Cool. So, so what do I want to do now? I mean, we can just mess around with the where a little bit. So let's see. Control there. So yeah, these are just the last two. These are the last three queries. Is there anything else? So I'm only using inner join now. So let me go to W3 and just look up the the other joins. Okay, so because I'm not very good with the join commands. So here are the different types of joins in SQL. Returns all the records that are matching. So um, thank you very much, by the way, W3 for the set theory images here, because that it significantly makes it easier to think about. Um, yeah, yeah. I feel like the moment you say joins to somebody about that, like you talk about SQL and you mention joins, they just like check out. Like, can we do something else? can, can, like I'll write anything else. I'd much rather write YAML. So the screen is cool, Matthew. Almost called you Mike again. Oh, you can't hear me. Yeah. uh, Alright. Give me a second. Let me take off my glasses. Oh, I need to put my thing back on. Okay. So when this goes off again, I guess that will be the end of the coding session. Not too long, or not too short. It's pretty good session. I mean, it's pretty informative session at this point, in my opinion. Like, even though we haven't gotten into a lot of the what you call it, we haven't gotten into a lot of the other commands. That discussion about formatting is extremely important in my opinion. Um, Anyhow, right. So inner join returns all records from the left table that and the matched records from the right table. So all records from the left table and the matched records from the right table. So how would that look in my circumstance? So it'd be literally all the records here. So this is left join, right? So it would return the two users, since users are on the left side. It would return the two users, and then it would return the two users, and then it would return these. Hmm, that is so strange. That is really weird. How would that? Why am I even asking questions? Like, I can't just click this button and find out. Like, I can't just click that and find out. Excuse me. You know what's a really interesting question I have now? Um, so according to this thing, where is it? According to this, uh, it executes all or selection, or it executes current statement, right? So would current statement in this case be the first keyword that it sees straight to um to the semicolon? Is that Would that be current statement in this case? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Let's see. Actually, let me just make sure that I'm doing it correctly. Control return. Yep. So, yep. I guess. Um. Yeah. Actually, action. Yeah. So action select. Yeah. So it was right. Oh, and it didn't have a limit. Yeah. Add users dot user ID and to your selection clause. I think that will help show the difference in the join types. Thank you, uh, users dot user ID and then to dos. Okay, cool. All right, so where would I put that? Um, I guess you know what? Let me put them at the at the back so that so users dot user underscore ID and then um this is so strange to me by the way. To dos dot user underscore ID. This is so weird. Like I have literally never thought about putting the comma in front of my query before, or in front of my item before, or variable. Let's go with variable in front of my variable before. Never thought of it. Like I don't know why I didn't think of it. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I am still kind of. This is such a good idea. This is such a good idea. All right. Let's see. So we have. Let's start with left join because we already know what inner join does. Left join. So user ID is two. It's where it's two. Let's see. Let me put it at one. So user ID is one. Did I just make user ID twice? To do's user ID. No. These are from different tables. Right join. So we have left join here. We got all of that. Right join. Oh, put it all in all caps. Right join. It is no different. The query isn't different, I think. Oh, by the way, I need to make this capital. I want to save this. It's just the text editor is being stupid. Oh, why? Yeah, I really don't understand. Like, I understand what this is talking about. I understand what this is talking about, but I don't really understand. So, like, how would that? How would that? Oh, be right back. Just gotta jump on the call. No, hey, no problem, no problem. Thanks for stopping in. Um, I will be going on for about probably another hour and 40 minutes or so, I believe. Let me see. Should be about that. Hour and 43 minutes. I literally might just jump on a video to get an explanation because I don't think my tables are set up to really show the differences between all the different joins. Let me try full join real quick before I probably am going to get the saying typing bad words. Ooh, what? Unknown. Huh? The hell? Okay. Action. Uh, unknown column users dot username in field list. What the hell? How is that? Okay, so we have a left join. It's fine, but on a full join, it's not fine. Okay, 1 moment. 1 minute. Coughity cough cough. Hmm. So it returns all records where there's a match in either left or right. That's cool, but why is now there an error here? Um, and it's such a weird error. Users error code unknown column in users in field list. Users.username. How is that unknown? We're staring at it right there. That's so strange. What a weird thing. Alright, so I'm gonna go look at what full join says right here, and we even have a self join. Jeez. Oh boy. Alright, let's see. The full join keyword returns all records where there is a match in left table or right table records. Full outer join and full join are the same. Um, okay, so select column names. Cool. From table 1, full join table 2. On table column name where condition. This is literally the same thing I have. On table equal to. Alright, let me not do that either. Actually, let me go make that change. Actually, since that's probably going to be. I'm sorry. It's little things, just tad things, small things that bug me. Alright, I'm not. I'm gonna change it. I was like, I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna change it. At least I'm making progress. I'm making progress. Alright, turns. So, they have a demo here. Alright, let me move this back to the corner. Okay. Um. Okay, so we have two tables here. This is a lot of white space, by the way. Um. We have two tables here. Customer name, customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postal code, country. So it's just the customer ID, order ID, or customer name, order ID, customer ID, employee ID, um, shipping date, order date, and then shipping ID. Okay, so here they do a full join, select customer name, order ID, those two things. Um, so they do that from customer, full join with order on customer ID and order customer ID on those on customer ID in both the customer table and order table. Order by customer name. Okay, yeah. So they're sorting by customer name. Order by. Okay. By the way, I'm gonna go mess with that too. Order by. Um, let's see. By. I mean, it's already ordered, but by to do's dot ID. And then let me get rid of this. So can we reverse order? Reverse order by SQL. Order by keyword. Can we reverse the order? Order by several columns. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Knocks on doors and all of that. I unfortunately do not live alone, so excuse me, stuff like that happens. Select order by. Oh, DEC. Thank you. Let's try this then. DEC. Haha. All right. Regardless, so what I am going to do is, I'm not necessarily sure where. So here's the demo database. This. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Okay. So full null. Why would it has no? Oh, okay. Guess they don't have a. Yeah, they don't have any orders based on, because it's like a customer ID. There's no one, so it's nulled. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, because I can't think of a better way to do this. I am literally going to head on YouTube. Um, I hope this isn't too much of a problem. I'm going to literally head on YouTube, and I am going to find. Oh, wow! There's literally a SQL course right there. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to find a video on MySQL. Wow, thank you. MySQL. SQL. Let's go. SQL join queries with examples. Right. SQL join ladies' night. Goddamn Google. I've messed my head up. SQL join ladies' night. I'm like, what? Okay, now I'm tempted. Oh, that messed up my whole head. Type carefully with search history. Well, so that's a good point. But like, so for this, hmm, you know what I probably should do if I'm going to do like searches. If I'm going to go on YouTube, I should probably do this. Um, new that I should probably do. What the hell? I should probably do this so that it's private. Like you'll see where my location is, in a sense. Let me see if I'll get the SQL thing with ladies. Still, SQL join ladies night. What? That is so. What does this? I am so no, no, Chad. That is so strange. Oh, laugh a lot. I'll should use Brave and other privacy-focused tools. Hmm. Oh, could you like? You can actually put links in the chat. Could you put links like an article? Cause I completely have no idea how to navigate this. To be quite honest with you, no idea whatsoever. Like it's fairly new to me. I know I could have easily. I guess I could have done this. Like I could have just gone. Oh, not be right back. I could have just gone this and be like, I'm going on YouTube. But you know, like I'm just. I don't even know why it's a problem. Like not to say that it's that I don't think it's a problem. I just don't know why. So, um, good learning experience. But yeah, I guess for now I can just set this up here. Oh, you guys can't hear that. Okay, cool. So the video is running. Um, I do not know. Will they be salty about this? I guess this is technically broadcasting, but will people be salty about this? Let me go put up the video. So you should be able to see this. Brave for web browser, DuckDuckGo versus Go. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I should be, but I'm not as um as data conscious as I should be. Um, Brave for web browser, DuckDuckGo versus Google. Okay. Um, Brave. I didn't even know that there was a web browser named Brave. I'll have to look into that. Actually, let me put that in the notes so that I have it. Let's have it written down somewhere. Let me see. Brave web browser streaming. Oh, okay. Mhm. So Brave and then duck duck go for search. Yep, cool. So I have that written down there. What the hell was I doing? Um, I'm literally going to give me a second. Let me put this back. Look into tools for web surfing while streaming and articles, I guess. Yeah, I should look into that. That is not that. Alright. I don't know how I feel about this. First of all, let me make sure that you guys are getting audio. Yep.
Hi
Return.
everyone, this
Ah!
is Sahiti on behalf of Edureka, and I welcome you to this.
I feel more and more like I shouldn't do this on stream. I. Because I'm just broadcasting these people's content. Screw it. I can just go to other commands as opposed to this. Cool. All right. So I will do that off stream so that I don't have to. I mean, if it's okay, then I'll that's I will just find that out later. Uh, look up SQL joins from video. Um, look up SQL joins after stream. Cool. beans. Um, is there anything else I want to do? Okay, cool. So for now, is there anything else about selects that I want to do? So we have order by, right? So um, that's what I was messing with right now. So it's like just to kind of make it, like order by. I know you can do order by multiple things. Where is it? I'd close it. Where's the order? Order by. Here we go. Optic blast. Oh, excuse me. Man, I'm tired. Why am I tired already? Um. Okay, yeah. Uh, so this is what I was messing with before. What is? I'm just assuming that that's where you put ascending, descending. Excuse me. Order by country, and it's automatically associate. I keep saying associate ascending. Yes, ascending. Yeah. Um, descending order, and then you can have put multiple things. So ascending country, descending customer name. Okay, that's interesting. So funny enough, the only thing that's so let's take out this. Actually, I can't even do that. Okay, so we need to. I think I need to change everything. So let's let's remove this. Let's put a star here, and then we put a from. From to do, since that's the only thing that really matters right now. With ID descending, and then what is it? And then to do name ascending ASC, right? Okay, so how does this work? So another, so 765 7 6 5 4. Ironically, okay, so is there anything here? It's still ascending. So even if I put desk, hmm, I guess I wonder if they would order it. So like what I'm thinking here, and I'm just kind of talking into the void. What I'm thinking here is what I would think this is each time you have an order by, um, it would sort it. It would do a sort, and then you would get a result, and then you would take that result and and then do the sort on that, right? So that's what I'm thinking this is behind the scenes. Um, so it's like sort output into sort into this sort. So that's what I'm thinking. That's more likely what's happening. I'm not necessarily going to confirm that right now. But order by is cool. Is there anything else? Select where and or. This is so yeah. This is what I figured. Um, excuse me. I don't know why I'm so tired all of a sudden. This is what I figured. Like the select, the read is probably the most. I won't say it's the most complicated thing, but like it has the most like at least for what I'm seeing right now, it has a lot of things that you can do because that's probably one of the more important parts. Or it's like it's an important aspect of the database, but it's kind of all stuck in one command, right? In the select, so it's like, oh, select, and then all of these things that can change the select, right? So like for instance, oh, well, and is just for the conditional. So this is just for the conditional. So it's like this is actually more for the where. So it's more attached to the where. But regardless, I mean, like just having this where and being able to do all of these conditions, right? I feel like I'm talking stupidness. What is select top? The select top clause is used to specify the number of. Oh, please, by the way, if this is getting a little boring, please let me know. I don't mind moving off of this to do something else. Not necessarily, I'd still be doing the SQL stuff, but I'm just kind of reading up on select because we're still on read. You know what? Just even making that statement, I feel like I should just move on. Where is it? I keep somehow clicking backend engineering somehow. Alright, so update. Um, we actually haven't, or at least I haven't, in any of these sessions, actually updated any of these entries. Excuse me. I haven't updated any of these entries, so I've altered the table, but I haven't updated any of the entries. So here's what we will do. There should be an update command here. I'm hoping there's an update command. I hope it's not alter. Here it is. Okay, update table set column. So it's update and then set and then the column you want to change and then by a conditional. Okay. Alright, so like for instance, alright, let's go. That is definitely not what I wanted to do. Let me close that. Okay, cool. So, alright, let's go here and then let's run this. So we have all these things. I'm just going to update the is complete and make it 1 for some of these. And that will be that. So update to do. Let's see. Update to dos. And so update table set um is underscore completed to equal 1 where let's see, I don't want to say where user ID, where ID is equal to 3 and then run this. So one table was affected, one row is matched. So I have an interesting question. If you do update, let's actually find out because funny enough, Matthew's here. We talked about whether or not SQL. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone because it just buzzed. Um, Talking about whether or not SQL actually not SQL, sorry. MySQL would update would do an insert when the conditional for the update is not met. So what I'm going to do is here we know that we only have 7 entries, right? So we're going to add entry 9. It's going to look for the ID of 9. This will likely fail, but I want to see if it will fail by saying that into it cannot insert into 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 um into the table because because there are things that are not null. Oh, that can't be null. And since we're not changing everything, we're only changing one thing. I just want to see. So one table affected. Oh, rows matched, changed warnings. Okay. So if you don't get a if you don't get a match, the query will run successfully, but it will tell you that there are no rows matched. Excuse me. That they didn't find any rows. Which makes me now wonder if what would happen if. Do I really want to do that? Yes, I want to do that. What would happen if we took the conditional out? You are using a safe update mode. To disable safe mode, hmm, this is an interesting response. You are using safe update mode and you tried to update a table without aware that uses the key column. To disable safe mode, toggle the option in preferences, SQL editor, and reconnect. Nope, will not do that. Thank you. So now what I want to do is to find upsert. I think that's what it was called. I think that's what you called it, Matt. Upsert. Upsert SQL. Yes. At least that's the statement. I want to see if upsert actually exists. Nope. Does it exist in MySQL? MySQL upsert. Um. Okay. So this is an article on upsert. I don't think the keyword exists. I think insert into. Alright, let me just start reading the article. A little bit of it. This tutorial explains about MySQL upsert command with the help of simple examples. An upsert is a smart operation which turns into insert or update whichever is applicable. Also, it is an atomic transaction, means complete in a single step. Let's understand that if a record is new, then upsert triggers an insert, but if it's already exists, then upsert performs an update. MySQL duplicate provides the on duplicate key update option to insert, which accomplishes this behavior. However, there are other statements like insert, ignore, or replace, which can also fulfill this objective. Okay, so the keyword doesn't exist directly things that will do similar things to upsert here. Okay, we can imitate upsert with in upsert using insert ignore. All right, so that's fine. I mean, it just doesn't have the keyword, but it has things that are close to the keyword. Alright, so update here. Is there anything else about update? Um, uh, can you make things update safe? So like set fields in SQL to not be updatable. Updatable. I don't know if that's to not be editable. That makes more sense. Make a column not editable. Can I make a SQL database column not editable? There is no declarative mechanism for fixing the value of a column. The only way to do it programmatically is with a trigger. Triggers give us the ability to compare old and new values of a column during an um, during an update event and take action if they differ. Here's the most straightforward method. Oh, regardless, a similar conversation we had last week. Last week. Yesterday. Was it yesterday or last week? I think it was last week. About triggers and them kind of being out of the scope of this entire exercise for now. Um, may come up later on. So, the most important statement here is that there is no declarative mechanism. Thank you, Stack Overflow, for continuing to save the day. You know, you have effectively made a lot of people money. I'm sorry, I want to do something stupid. Give me a sec. Nope, that's not the stupid thing. Uh, yeah, actually, I just want to check something. Sorry, I just came to mind. It's just came to mind. Uh, right. Is there anything else about update I want to do? Um, let me look at the tables. Updates. I mean, it's same as the insert. User ID. It seems pretty simple. I can't think of anything else that I want to ask questions on. Um, can't think of anything. All right, let's just move on to delete then. Um, so delete. So the delete command would literally just be delete. It's here somewhere. Drop DB. That's it. Delete. Okay, cool. Delete table where yeah, that's what I figured. Um, and so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna insert something here. Um, insert into yep into to wow really can't do that. Huh. Wait, how did that happen? Oh, it's reading the schema. I didn't know that. Thank you. I was trying to do that. Oh, I was trying to do that in the command line. I was trying. I wasn't trying to do it in the GUI. Yeah, I was trying to do it in the command line, hoping that I would get the auto insert. It didn't work. Insert into. I have no idea. How do you set this up? How? Cause. Alright, so we have that. I'm gonna try to write this for readability. So user no. So to do name to do name, sorry. To do name to do description and then user underscore ID. Um, insert into values. Whoops. Values. Let's see. Funny enough. Let's see. Record to be deleted. Record to be deleted, and then ghost record, and then this belongs to one. Okay. So I want to list this properly. Would this work? Should work. Don't see why not. Um, and then, oops, that should do that. Would it be? I think there would be tabs, right? Or there'd be more space. So this would look more like. This might look like regular programming. I guess this makes sense. And then you just do the same thing here, right? So space. And then here, you close that. I actually really want to put this on its own line. I really want to do that. Let me see. Yep. I really want to put this in its own line. Let me do that. I like that idea. As opposed to having to go look for it, you know. It's like, oh, the semicolon's right there. Yeah, everything else is one line. Okay, and let us see if this will work. Okay, let's go away. Insert into its error. Denied. Oh, put to do app. Sorry, my bad. To do's. Alright, let's run this real fast. Cool, ghost record, record to be deleted. Alright, cool. So we have our record that we want to delete here. Um, we have our record that we want to delete. Let's see. We have that record here. Um, Man, this looks really pretty. This looks really pretty. I'm sorry. I'm admiring my handiwork. In fact, I am literally going to cop this. Let's see. Is there a way to? No, it's gonna mess up the formatting regardless. Okay. This. Oh, it needs to be all the way over here. This needs to be all the way over here. Looks. And then yeah, that's fine. All right. These are important things, people. All right. So here, what we will do is we will delete um, to dos. Okay, so I guess this will be the last thing that we do. Um, where ID is equal to 1. Whoops, not 1. 2, 8. Oh, right. I want to do this on its own line. Hmm. Okay, and this should do that perfectly fine. Error code. I have an error in MySQL. Hmm. Where? Where is not. Why is where? Okay, that's weird. Hold on. Oh, delete from. Insert to. Insert into delete from. Ah, it would make less sense for it to be delete to dos. Okay, delete from to dos. Where? Okay. Haha. One road affected, and then we have the 8, so the ghost record shouldn't be there anymore. And it is not. It has vanished. It has been stripped away from the face of the earth. All right, cool. Um, so I mentioned an alarm. That's kind of the my phone telling me that I need to get up. But that's more or less the 2 hours for coding. So what I will do now is I will take a bit of a break, bit of a bathroom break, come back, and then if there are people here, we'll have an open discussion about, I don't know, life, the secrets of the universe, and potentially the Men in Black. Okay, all right, I'm stupid. All right, so give me a second. I will be right back. have returned. Um, right. So if this were the 5 hour stream, this would be the point of the stream where I'd say I'm gonna go get food. I'll be right back, and then I would venture off into the. I can't come up with a funny thing to say about Jamaica, so I'd venture off to find food, grab something to eat really quick, come back, and then just kind of chat with y'all. But yeah, so what I want to do now, this is the first time I'm doing this. So yeah. But the idea here, what I'm hoping eventually the idea will be, is that move the chair. Haha. I'm hoping what eventually the idea will be is that um we'd have like maybe not necessarily a large we'd have people active in the chat and they may have questions, you know. No, I'm not going to put myself I'm not going to say that I have all of this experience, or I don't want to say I don't have all this experience. But I'm not going to say that I am this um like I'm not this like super secret squirrel software engineer that has all the secrets of the software engineering universe. It's an open discussion. So it's more like I have opinions, you have opinions. The goal is to take our opinions and try to merge them into like some kind of closer form of truth, I guess. So like maybe even if I'm 100% wrong and or you're 100% wrong or whatever, at the very least we know, if I didn't know your stance, at least I know why your stance is wrong or my stance is wrong. Anyways, point is, and it would just be around some topic, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be one topic. It's just kind of open discussion. It's just like, hey, do you want to talk about something? You know, like, definitely for definitely for people, for younger people, or younger people earlier in their careers. I want to say younger people. For people earlier in their careers, uh, discussion constantly comes up about how do you get your first job. Um, so I won't necessarily talk about that. I'll talk about my job hunt and how difficult it's been. And first of all, I don't think I worked as hard at job hunting as um as other people may have. I'm not going to pretend that I am this great software engineer that has been spited on by the community. I did a fair amount of work, I feel, but I feel like I could have done. I mean, I guess we could have all done more, right? But I'll talk about my job hunting experience and hopefully like some of the lessons that I learned um, uh, in my job hunting experience. So like first of all, I think the resume is important. All right, so there's like a couple of phases of job hunting, right? So phase one is searching for opportunities. I'll put a link in the chat. This is what I generally use. Yeah, you can't see my screen, so this is what I generally use whenever I'm job hunting. So this is the sequel. Okay, cool. So Randall Connor, who does who posts a lot on Twitter. I don't know how much she posts now, but when I was searching through Twitter, when I was on Twitter like last year, She posted a lot about her job hunting tips and stuff. She wrote a few books. The Standout Developer. Uh, I don't remember what the other book was. I know it's like it's kind of the same naming convention. So it's like the Standout something. I think the other one is the Standout Career. I don't remember. The book that I read was the Standout Developer. I'm pretty sure I'm getting this wrong, but the book I read was the Standout Developer, and her idea was to talk about job hunting and just kind of putting your like it is a way of job hunting, and the thing is you wanted to kind of build this process. She used a term which resonated with me a lot. I haven't seen her use the term since, but it was a term that resonated with me a lot, which is which was the idea of an interview funnel. And the that idea comes from, and to be quite honest, like a lot of me streaming kind of comes with kind of exploring that idea, or not necessarily exploring, but trying to build something similar. So for bigger people on Twitter, for people who are well known on Twitter, either they're more junior in their career but they have a lot of followers, or they're more senior in their career. All of these people, I don't want to say they tend to have one thing in common, but they have extensive network, and that's something really important to By the way, this is completely random. This is not to the point that I want to originally make, but I just kind of want to talk about it a little bit. They have a large network, and the more you the more you grow in your career, the more you find that your network becomes really important for not necessarily your career growth, but keeping yourself employed. Like, say if you need a job, like say you're working somewhere and for whatever reason you want to leave, um, or say somebody offers you a position, like you could very well be happy where you are, but somebody offers you a position that you don't want to turn down. Like all of that will come from your network. Like, the most important thing is to be seen, right? It's not even necessarily your skills. Your skills are still important, but being seen and being noticed is, I would say, equally as important. I don't want to say it's more important, but like several people have said that there's people who would outcode them any day of the week, but they get more opportunities because they people know them on Twitter. You know, like, yeah, I don't want to talk about people specifically because I don't feel like I don't say I'm not putting their business out there because they're doing it themselves, but I don't want to talk about people specifically. Like, I don't think that's my place. But um, they talk about it openly on Twitter, but I don't know. It just feels really weird to be like, oh, this person is. Anyways, so it's really important to be known. So she wrote a book about kind of like her process of how she did that, and it was like talking about, like how she kind of her interview her job search process was very much she made it her mission to get a job as soon as she could. So, like, every day she would she'd spend like hours doing job searching, which is something I didn't do. She would spend hours doing job searching. What you call it? Sending in applications. I think she also spoke with people. This was initially um, her thing, and she said she got a job in 2 weeks, um, and then from there the book kind of goes into how you kind of stay visible. Like things that you can do, like for instance, speak at conferences. like if your conference, well, I don't know too much about that, but like speaking at conferences, or how you engage on Twitter. Like one of the things she mentions a fair amount of times is that um she sorry, she did a course on how to gain followers on Twitter, and pretty much the thing that she kind of always says is provide value. And so that's what she did. She provided value. So she, in a situation, she would talk about her experience, how to leverage some of the things that she did. So she provided value, right? All of that to say, sorry, I'm kind of just stretching my neck here. All of that to say is that during all of these things, she decided that she was going to make a list of job search of job boards, and she has them categorized here. I am going to post them in the chat. I should also mention that this video will be on YouTube. Um, so I probably should post that link in YouTube, in the YouTube comments or something. Probably in the comments. I don't know if I should put it in the description, but in the comments or somewhere, I'll have the link that's shareable. That's clickable, so you don't have to like squint your eyes at the video to get it. Um, but yeah, in fact, actually, let me share. Let me just show everybody what I'm looking at. Um, Here, yeah. So this is it. Um, and there's a bunch of job boards, AngelList, GitHub, Mashable. Uh, some other people have had lists. I personally didn't save them, or if I did save them, they're God knows where. I don't remember where I saved them. But this is pretty good. I because of my situation, I live in Jamaica, and I was trying to get was is trying to get a job in the United States, or not even necessarily in the United. Was mostly in the United States, but pretty much places other than Jamaica. Um, it's just a little at least for me, it was a little bit more difficult to find jobs in Jamaica. Um, so I spent a majority of my time on the remote boards. I don't know. I saw another post recently on LinkedIn, on Twitter, about the remote boards, but about remote boards like remote lists. But yeah, this works, right? I feel like this is pretty good. This is a pretty good list, and I do remember seeing a lot of these things there. So either way, I think this is a really good resource for job searching. Something that I use. Oh, ooh, hello. Right. Um. So there's that. Welcome back, Jason. So I'm kind of done with the coding for today. So for the last hour, I guess up until 12:15, well, it'll be 12:15 today. Up until 12:15, just kind of have an open discussion. Um, so what I'm talking about is the job search, mainly because I myself am on the job search, and I felt like I've learned so much. I felt like I've learned so much in the job search. Um, yeah, I felt like I learned so much in the job search that I can just share some of my stories. I'm not going to pretend that my job search was fairly smooth. To be quite honest, some of the issues that I had in my job search were of my own doing, mainly from lack of information. Um, and I would also say a lack of is I don't know if tenacity is the right word, but right now I'm just mentioning this list of jobs that of job boards um, that people can leverage. Anyways, um, So you have, you kind of have like this list of things that you have to do if you want to get an opportunity, right? If you want to take advantage of an opportunity, you have to find a job. You have to find a job. You have to apply for it. You have to somehow get the interview, and then you have to pass the interview, and that's how you get the job, right? Like, um, I guess simplified, that's how you get a job. Um, so to apply, you need a resume, or yeah, you need some mechanism to to have them assess you and want to interview you. Generally, that's a resume. Some people, like, people will advise you to kind of bypass that. And to be quite honest, I've had a lot of situations where I kind of have given my resume, but I didn't officially apply for jobs, and people just reached out. People were like, "Oh, hey, we know you're looking for something. Um, yeah, we know you're looking for something. Would you like to interview for this?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I didn't apply officially for a job, but they reached out, and then I spoke to interviewer, and like some things happened, and I for the most part I haven't been able to like convert into a job offer. That's on me, but like people would advise that that's kind of the thing that you should do. I would say yes. You should always have your resume, in my opinion, like updated. Um, for the resume, this is what I recommend all the time. Where's what is it? Tech resume. Inside Out. Ha, yes, this book. This book is from. Um, I'm going to butcher his name. Gregelli, or I'm sorry, I'm really bad at. I've listened to him pronounce his name often, and, and I've never actually attempted to pronounce his name myself. I'm going to just go with Gregory. I want to call him Gregory so bad because it's kind of almost this. Anyways, this is an excellent resource on how to put together your resume. Absolutely excellent resource. I recommend this to literally anybody who says they need help with a resume. I guess I will put this in the chat as well. Um, so again, this will appear on YouTube. I will probably put all of this stuff in like a comment, or I'll probably pin the comment too. I'll put this in a comment or in the description. More than like, I don't know. I don't know where I'll put it, but I'll definitely make sure to have it there, so that at the very least you can view it. You can just use it. You don't have to like squint at the video to try and figure out where this is. But yeah, this is a great book. I believe he has. Let me see. Get the yeah. So you have two versions of two packages. You have the book only. Um, the package that I got because I pre-ordered the book was the complete package, and it has the book, the PDF itself. Um, what I kind of looked at was the PDF itself, the book itself, and he has like 3 hours of video content, which covers topics that are in the book, but I don't think is really elaborated on in the book. I don't really remember. Um, Absolutely great resource. He is also very open about, because like he had to do a bunch of research for the book, and so like he talks about like careers for software engineers all the time. He talks a lot about software engineering, like the culture, and just progressing through the careers. I believe in Europe. I believe that's where it is. My geography is awful as well, so like. But either way, he talks about what you call it. He talks about progressing. like he's really he has a lot of good information. I would definitely give him a follow as well. Um, I've reached out to him a few times, and he's been particularly helpful. And I mean, we don't necessarily have a relationship outside of the few times I reached out, but like he was very okay with reaching out back to me. He actually helped me a bit in my job search. Gave me some pretty good advice, which ironically I didn't actually use. But I think he gave me some good advice. Uh, yeah, like so in terms of resume, uh, also because they don't really, funny enough, Miss Kana is here. Also, funny enough, they don't talk about this. Um, One of the big issues, at least from what I see, one of the big issues is when you're applying for a job in more of an official capacity, when people aren't necessarily reaching out to you. And I'll make a mention. I'll make mention of this in a bit. When you're applying for a job in more of an official capacity, like through their official channels, right? A lot of the times, you're or not a lot of the times, your resume is being viewed by a recruiter. Some people will say that your resume is not, you have to get past keywords. Funny enough, directly in this book, they will, Gregorly, I think that's the right way of pronouncing it. Gregorly, I'm just gonna stick with that. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name, but Gregorly talks says literally was just like um, the ATS the ATS does not screen your resume by keywords in the sense of, oh, if you don't have this keyword you're gonna get kicked out. You know, that's not how ATSs work. Um, I don't even really know too much because I personally haven't used an ATS, or I don't really know too many people that use ATSs. You know what? Let me actually plug this. So there's a recruiter. This is where I get all of my information. I get all my information from all of these crazy people. There's a recruiter on YouTube, Amy Miller. Her brand is recruiting in yoga pants, which has a very interesting story that she tells on her channel. Um, yeah, it's like so she's funny enough. Every time somebody makes mention of, oh, the ATS screens resume, she'll just like rip her hair out and be like, no, it doesn't, and like just go crazy. Like she does that on LinkedIn all the time. Like so, like I'm I'm connected to her on LinkedIn, and every so often you'll see Amy Miller commented on this, and I was like, oh, what did somebody say? Somebody said something that she was upset with. But yeah, like the ATS doesn't screen your resume through keywords, or I guess in case that somehow magically it does. It is in her experience that that does not happen. um. Anyhow, so the whole thing, I tangent, right? A recruiter's gonna see your resume, right? They're gonna look at your resume. They're going to look through. They're going to look through what you call it. They're going to look through and they're going to look for if you are a good fit, right? And one of the things that I got, one of the pieces of advice that I got is when you look at a job description and you're, first of all, you want to have your resume, um, you want to tailor your resume to the job description. Now, what does that look like? So, what you want to do is present yourself in such a way that you mirror the job description as closely as you can, right? Um, Now, you don't necessarily need to be 100% literally the job description. you don't need to be 100% the job description at all. Like especially now, like there's things like you have preferred or not preferred. You have like must-haves. You know, you must be able to, like, say for instance they're looking for a front-end engineer. You must be able to work in React. You know, or you must have years of experience in React or whatever. Some combination of that. Um, you must have used I'm trying to think of a tool. You must have used React testing library. You know what I mean? Or maybe not necessarily that might not be a must have, but you must have done something, right? Like say you've used Redux, or say you use d3.js. I don't know why I'm blanking on modules, but on node modules, but like you must have done specific things. You know what I mean? Like yeah, that would be that'd be things like you must have these specific skills, and then you have preferred skills where it's like, oh, we would love for you to have, you know, worked in the financial sector. Oh, we'd love for you to have made graphs, you know, before. Like it's kind of going with D3, right? We would have GraphQL. Actually, let's go with that. We'd love to you have worked with GraphQL before. You know, these would be preferred things, and so like you want to be able to say that you've done everything in the must-have. You know, naive question. Do recruiters favor heftier resumes because they stand out to draw a larger cut of the salary? I honestly have no clue. So the way I view recruiters and recruiting, and the way I am trying to tailor, with the way I try to tailor my resume to the job. Again, I should repeat that I am still job hunting, so I have clearly not done this successfully. But the way I'm sorry, I was on on my thing, that's why I didn't see your question immediately. Um, so, like, from my understanding, the recruiter speaks with the hiring manager. That's the second person in this whole process. The recruiter speaks with the hiring manager, and the hiring manager kind of gives the recruiter an idea of what they should be looking for, right? So they'll give them like criteria. Oh, I need somebody with 3 years of front end experience, 3 years of React experience, maybe. I need somebody with these particular skill sets, and what the recruiter will do, depending on their level of skill or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how you would differentiate good recruiters from bad recruiters, but maybe I should even talk about whether or not a recruiters or whatever. The what they will do is they will take that criteria and they will look through it in the resume. They will look through your resume for it. So, like what I was saying earlier was you want to mirror the job description. They will write the job description based on the requirements that they get from the hiring manager, right? To the best of their ability, because a lot of the times they aren't a part of our industry in official capacity. So they us as practitioners of software engineering say react to them, and they stare at you like this, like, what the hell are you talking about? What am I reacting to? Right? Oh, so they do their best to write the job description based on the hiring manager. I think there will be points where maybe the hiring manager will also write the job description. I don't know. Let's not even speculate about that. But the idea is the recruiter has a vision of what the perfect candidate would look like, and you're in essence trying to emulate that vision in your. By the way, it's not a naive question. You're trying to emulate that vision as best as you can with your resume, right? Trying to emulate it based on best as you can through your experience. So, like, say for instance, we need somebody with 3 years of React experience. Well, kind sir, I have been practicing React for 3 years. Let me show you how. I practiced React on this job. I did this job for a year. I practiced React here. I did this job for 2 years. That equals three. You know what I mean? I did this. But in essence, you want to emulate that as best as you can. Now, there's other issues that come up. Like, for instance, I've found that I've been fairly good. I've been fairly close. I actually need to use the bathroom soon, so I'm gonna go do that in a bit after this point. I've been fairly close to the job description, but I still didn't get a call back, and that is a lot of the times. Well, for me, no. The issue is that um you you know what? Let me not necessarily talk about that because I don't want to speculate. But there may be other things that may take you out of the running. By the way, like applying to jobs like this is a crapshoot. Um, it's really difficult. Um, like I was recently watching a video where it's like, it's such a simple way of applying for a job, right? Just give your resume to to the job board, and hopefully you stand out. And it's like the resume is a decent enough way, is a okay enough way. I don't know. I know there's a lot of discussion about resumes not being a great way of saying of deciphering whether or not somebody is fit for a job, or at the very least fit to give an interview, to give to an interview. Oh, actually, I should make that point as well. Um, so where was I? Yeah. So you want to make your resume fit that job as much as possible. By the way, I'm staring all over the place. I'm not even like. Anyways, you want to make the job, the resume fit the job as much as possible. So a lot of the times when recruiters are getting applications, especially for big companies, they're getting a lot of applications, a massive amount of applications, right? And so their first idea is, if I have 100 applications and I want to whittle it down to 10, I'm going to look through these resumes and I'm literally going to look for things that will disqualify the person, you know. And the moment I find it, chuck that resume, chuck that resume. So that's something you want to avoid, right? What will disqualify you obviously depends on the job, but like, so the best advice is to tailor your resume for the job such that the resume literally represents the points in the job description as best as possible. The entire job description, not just what we're looking for. So, okay, I really need to use the bathroom. Give me 1 second, one moment. I have returned. Um, right. So where were we? So your resume should represent the job description as best as you can. You, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, so if you can get your resume to represent the job description with your experience, then that's good. One other point I will make about the resume is you want to focus on your impact and you want to quantify that impact as best as you can. So, um, like for instance, the method that I hear used all the time and I use a bit in my own resume is how did you accomplish this? Okay. Um, let me. Actually, I'm literally going to look up the statement. Um, dang it. I have it somewhere. I think I have it in my phone. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look up the statement so that I actually get it accurately. So there's a lot I can talk about in terms of the job hunt. Um, I'm going to focus mainly on getting the interview because that's actually a fairly difficult thing. I won't say practicing for interviews or successfully navigating interviews is much easier, but getting the interview is usually the problem for a lot of people. It's definitely been the problem for me, and it's been the thing that I've spent the most time um, trying to do. Um, so I'm gonna focus mostly on that because that just kind of makes it easier to talk about consistently or to talk about in like a short period of time. Cause like I've seen like I've spent a lot of time during my job search like watching videos and stuff like that. Okay, yes. Here's a. Let me finish. I spent a lot of time watching videos about all of this stuff, and I would say probably 8 hours of time like watching videos. This is not even like actually leveraging the information. This is just watching videos. But yeah, I have the quote here. So the idea is you want to have more or less every statement in your resume that talks about what you did to be accomplished X, X, X as measured by Y by doing Z. And you that's really what you want to quantify, how you want to quantify yourself. So, and that's how you want to like write all of your statements or as much of your statements as you can. There are some statements like I have a fair amount of statements where it's more like a job, but it's like there wasn't necessarily any impact, but it's a part of like building my character. So like one of the things that I talk about is that I had a knowledge sharing session, and it had some impact. It had some impact to the team, but the most important thing for me to say to portray is that um, knowledge sharing is really important to me. Documentation is really important. Well, not necessarily. You don't get that from knowledge sharing, but knowledge sharing is really important to me. Having that discussion is really important to me. It was so important to me that I headed a knowledge sharing session every week. You know, like um, that's stuff as well. That's important as well. It may not necessarily be important depending on the job description. It's more important for you to tailor to directly to the job description, but you can add things that make you stand out. Like for instance, even the thing that I'm doing with Tech is Hiring, which that was not the idea in the first place. But even the thing that I'm doing with Tech is Hiring, that makes me stand out. Like you're seen as somebody who's willing to take charge and try to do something, or you're seeing somebody who's willing who is passionate about helping other people get hired. You know what I mean? Like that helps you stand out. Like what is unique about you? Like in my LinkedIn, um I have that I play video games, or not play video games, but that I played Street Fighter for an extended period of time. I still play Street Fighter. I'm very good. I'm pretty solid Street Fighter player. You know what I mean? Like, and I did well. I did well a few times, or did pretty solid a few times at tournament. You know, those things help you stand out. You know, like they're not going to help you stand out when you're trying to get a job at a bank. but they will make you they will help you stand out when you're trying to apply for an esports company. You know what I mean? And it's like things like that. You know. Um but yeah, um so pretty much you want to write your resume to reflect the job description. That will help you stand out, and then there may be other key things that you have that will help you stand out as well. The other thing I want to make mention, we only have a few more minutes. Well, not necessarily we only have a few more minutes, but I'm going to take off a little bit in a little bit. But one of the other things that you want to do is you want to get referrals. It's actually stands to reason that the thought of move fast and break things favors initiative and action over dwelling on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the Facebook motto. Move fast and break things. Um, let me go over that really quickly as well. I mentioned that before. So in the job description, it'll be really fast. In the job description, you don't want to just focus on the skills. Like the job description will generally give you an idea of the culture of the company as well, um the culture of the company as well. You want to also mimic that culture as best as you can. So you want to see, so when you're a good fit, you can do the job that they want you to do as best as they've described it. But you would also fit the company culture. Like that is a big deal as well. You know what I mean? Like, how seamless will be the transition from you from being from wherever you are into the company culture? If you can make that transition as seamless as possible just through your resume alone, and really and truly that's the same that goes into the interview as well. But if you can make that transition really seamless, then that's really what you want to focus on. That's the goal, and you do it with the limited information that you have. That said, you also want to get referrals. You know, if you can get a referral, that would be great. Is really two kind of schools of thought for referrals. Just referrals, period, is great. But the higher up you get, the higher up that the higher up the person is in the organization that you're trying to get hired for, the higher up that person is who's giving you a referral, is the more likely you will get. I don't want to say get called back for an interview because I've gotten referrals from really high up people and I still didn't get a call back for whatever reason. Um, but the higher up is like what referrals really do is they kind of guarantee that your, at least from what I've seen, is that they guarantee that your resume will be viewed by a recruiter. It will be scrutinized. Well, it will be overly scrutinized by a recruiter. You know, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you will get a callback because there's been several situations where somebody got referred. They got referred, but they didn't get called back. And some of them were like, okay, they just needed to do something where they needed to do something in their resume, and they just got the same referral, and it's whatever. And then there's other things where it's like there's some non-starter, but generally you want to try and get referrals. You know, like they really help your ability to get callbacks. So like for really really big companies, for like let's go with Fang, you know, for like Google and stuff like that, employee referrals are a big thing. So much so that there is an entire website. I do not remember the website's name, but there is an entire website dedicated to selling referrals. So they will have people who work at these big companies. They will have people on that website, and then they'll have the buyers, and the buyers will come and they will say, "I need a referral for Google or Facebook or something," and these people will spend money and get a referral from an employee. That is how valuable referrals are, you know. And I mean, the smaller the company, like you can literally get a referral. Like I was describing earlier, I've gotten referrals where I never applied to a position officially, and but they interviewed me. You know what I mean? The whole point of this entire shebang, is shebang the right word? Is the whole point of this entire thing. I should just use very simple words so I don't make myself look. Yeah, it's stupid. It's so stupid. Like I was just like, what? What? And then, I mean, all the companies that, or I don't want to say all the companies, like definitely every single FANG, there has a representative or somebody will legit sell their damn referral. Like I don't know if it's up now, but it was definitely up last year, and it's definitely been a thing for a while. Like it was the strangest thing when I heard about it. I was just like, what? You know, but people buy it, and they the sub industry for getting into Fang is probably one of the the is definitely currently a very lucrative industry. There are like leak code. They're up because there's money to be made there. Like I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people who buy leak code premium subscriptions. Like Algo Expert. This is the interview prep like industry sub industry for getting into Fang. Right. There's a whole bunch of people sending a whole bunch of of um of what you call it, selling a whole bunch of services, um, of varying value, that people will buy. People have actively bought and are buying right now as we speak. Um, there's a whole sub industry. It is one of the strangest things. I don't think it's all that strange, but it's really weird to me. I don't know. It's whatever. But yeah, back to referrals. um, get a referral. Get a referral if you can. Not getting a referral is not the end of the world. Getting um um getting getting a referral is not God's gift is not God's gift to interviewing or getting interviews. Where I work, the employer pays out for referral. Yeah. So like at Google, they get the same thing as well. So like I use Google because that's like the place that I know the most. Um, when a person gives a referral and you successfully interview at Google, the person who gave the referral gets a finder's fee. They get like a couple $1,000 per person they refer. Um, who or person who successfully who signs an offer, specifically that action, if the person signs an offer, after all of the thing they get a referral bonus. A lot of big companies do that is to try and incentivize people to um to actively get people to come to the company. Like there's some statistics about referrals, like in terms of if you're referred to a company, you're more likely to stay, and so that's what they're investing in. I don't remember. I'm not going to pretend that I know a lot of that. It's probably lower than what the recruiter gets paid. Yeah, it's definitely lower than the recruiter gets paid. Like the whole system of hiring, is it hiring? I guess recruiting and hiring is pretty elaborate for big companies. Um, yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that because I'm not at a big company. Like, there's just things that I can speculate on, but I'm not going to talk about that. But referrals is a big deal. Referrals is a very, 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 very big deal. In any aspect of your job search, referrals is a very, very big deal. Um, I should also talk about networking. Networking is a very big deal. That's kind of where the referrals things comes from. There is the idea of the hidden job market. Like I don't know too much about that. It's like I get conflicting things about, oh, there is a hidden job market, there isn't a hidden job market, but blah, blah, whatever. But the thing is, a lot of the times, you are going to get your jobs. Excuse me, you're going to get your jobs, or a lot of the times, you want to position yourself. Not necessarily you are going to, but you want to position yourself in a at a point where um, where somebody is like, if you've lost your job, or you're leaving, or whatever happens, and you need to find something new, you want to be able to tap your network and say, hey, I am looking for a job, and at least one person in your network go, hey, I have something, and interview. Like, again, I mentioned bigger people in, like, on Twitter. I have definitely seen people who lost their job, especially in the pandemic, which is where I saw this the most. People lost their job in the pandemic, and a week later they were hired. They're hired by somebody else. Like, I can name names right now. I don't want to, because, like I said, I don't think I should put people's business out there, even though they technically did because it's on Twitter. But yeah, like, you want to position yourself like that, and a lot of times it's not even just referrals. Like, you will get a referral, and sometimes you will just flat out be interviewed. Again, the my experience is that I've had people just reach out to me, people who I didn't know, and then they were like, "Hey, you want to work at blah 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 blah?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll work there." You know what I mean? And I got an interview. You know what I mean? So, like, that is really important. You still want to put work into your resume. You don't want to, you like, there does get to a point. You know what? Let me not even talk about that, because, to be quite honest, um, if 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 you're at that point in your career, you're not watching this video on for interview tips. You know more than me. um, so they are double dipping if they use the website. What do you mean? In terms of referrals, I have heard of people who got a whole bunch of referrals for a company. This is specifically for Google. This is the story that I heard. There was a person who was trying to get into Google, and so they were like, they were practicing their interviewing skills and so on and so forth, and so they got a whole bunch of people, because they knew a bunch of people at Google, to refer them for one job, for jobs, I guess. And this guy came in and he said he had like four referrals. I don't know how practical that is, but he said it happened. I'm not going to say whether or not it's true or not, but the point, the definite takeaway is, get a referral if you can, for sure, for sure. Actually, let me see. Let me look at this link. Linkity linkly. Tune in to our roundtable for a talk you don't want to miss. If you are trying to get your networking skills up, yes, yes, networking is important, extremely important. Let me actually retweet this, because this is pretty cool. Actually, I think I want to attend this. Is this today? Nope, this is tomorrow. I want to attend this. So I will keep that in mind. I wish they had made a link so I could just set a reminder on Twitter, but I will just have to make a deal. I'll probably just put something in my calendar. But yes, get a referral if you can. Um, and definitely, as you are moving through your career, like, this is the reason why it's really important to put yourself out there. I don't think I mentioned this. This is really the reason why you want to put yourself out there. This is literally the reason why you want to be on Twitter and LinkedIn, so that people know that you exist. So that when you go, hey, I need a job, or I don't even want to say, hey, I need a job. Hey, I need some help. You know what I mean? People will say, oh, this person needs some help, and they will come a running to come a helping. Like there's going to be a point, if you stay in the industry long enough, And like I said, I don't have this experience myself, but I've seen it and people have talked about it enough for me to know that it's true. There's going to come a point in your career where first of all, the amount of people, the software engineering is still a very small community, even though it's kind of glamorized. It's still small. It's still small enough, or small enough of a community. You know what I mean? Like there's, it's small. Let's just say that it's still small enough of a community. You, there will be a point in your career where a lot of the opportunities you get simply by because you knew the right person at the right time, or you knew the right person, and you know you just had options of opportunities. Like, so get to know people. Get to know people is really important, that you know people. Like, you don't necessarily have to be everybody's friend, but like be on Twitter, be on LinkedIn, talk with people, like um I'm here streaming, and I like oh, all right. Later, later, Tater. Later, Matt. I'm probably gonna end up leaving in a little bit myself because it's a little bit past time. Um, you are, you're. How do I put this? I don't. I want to put you. There's going to be a point. Oh, sorry. Um, hell, Matthew. The reason why I know Matthew is because I worked on open source, right? They told me I did a fairly good job. I'm kind of happy about that. I don't know if I don't know. I mean, I'm happy that they feel I did a very good job. But he worked on open source. That is from. Thank you, thank you. What? I'm I'm good because I have. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm just not gonna say anything. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But I did a good job, and like he saw that I was streaming, and he was like, "Man, I remember you from Open Source. That was awesome work you did." And I was like, "Well, thanks." And he's in the stream talking, and like I would say he's regular because I've only streamed like 3 or 4 times, but he's a regular viewer just because of that. Like, put yourself out there, work on open source, but just put yourself out there in the ways you feel comfortable with, because you don't want to put yourself out there and feel uncomfortable. But put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to go out and talk to people. Like, I am introverted and I am sitting in front of a silly camera saying things, you know, like you can even hear the introversion in my my in the way I decide to express myself, because I'm like, I shouldn't say that, but put yourself out there, and it will help with your job search. It helps it significantly helps with mine, even though I haven't even been successful. It significantly helps with my job search. It helps with me understanding what I should be focusing on. You know what I mean? Like, put yourself out there, you know, talk to people, you know, like networking doesn't have to be this whole formal, yes, I am networking, you are a software engineer, yeah, you are a software engineer, I am software engineer, we should be friends, you know what I mean? Like, you could easily be like, yo, I like Kirby, I also am a software engineer. You know what I mean? Like networking is literally just talking to people, randomly. Like, I guess a simple way, and I'll probably end with this. A simple way of just networking is, you're on Twitter and somebody says something, and it's interesting to you. Ask questions. Like, I did that for like my first 6 months of Twitter, or tech Twitter, because I've been on Twitter for longer than that. But I did. That was what I did. I just asked questions. Like, I that's all I did. Somebody like somebody more famous than myself, famous, somebody more famous. Let's go with the phrase famous. Someone more famous than myself will go so and so and so and so, and it'll be just interesting to me. And I will be like, hey, could you elaborate a little bit more on that, or more tailored question, and so on and so forth. That's networking. That's networking. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be this process, you know, like making jokes. Like, I make jokes because I just literally enjoy trying to make people laugh. But just making jokes, like literally that's what I do on Twitter. Like somebody will say something silly and I was like, yo, I can make a joke about this. And half of the times I'm making the joke to entertain myself. To me, like literally, I was just like, yo, this is funny. Type it in. But other people laugh. You know what I mean? Like that. All of that is networking. It doesn't have to be this grim process where it's like, oh, I need a job. Um, I need to go network. First, the most one of the more important things to know about networking, and I'll actually leave this time after after I say this. One of the most important things about networking is networking helps you get a job 6 months from now. This is literally a quote from somebody. Like, networking helps you get a job 6 months from now. It doesn't help you get a job right now. So you should network right now. You should network when you're not in need, so that you can leverage your network when you are. You know. Um, and yeah, that's kind of my spiel about trying to get the interview. By the way, this is not a promise of that I will actually talk about this about interviewing, because I'm still learning myself. But yeah, what did we cover? Getting the interview. Have your resume. Have your resume updated. I also didn't mention that. Have your resume updated. Tailor your resume to the job description as best as you can, and get referrals and network. You know, getting referrals specifically for the job really helps your chances of getting the interview, which is the whole point of this whole thing. Finding I mentioned find uh what you call it, finding opportunities. Um, I gave us a page here which I will link in the. I gave a page here which I will put in the for YouTube, which I will put in the in somewhere in YouTube, and um you know what, I'm gonna call it. Yep. Yep, that's it. That's it. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was helpful. I hope this is helpful information. Um, Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all the new viewers. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much, Jason, for today. I really appreciate it. Like it, I like formatting. Like literally, that's just going to be a habit that I'm going to make make myself do for formatting SQL queries. So thank you very much, Jason, for that conversation. I really appreciate it. Um, Also, thank you for trying to type code in the chat, because now I kind of have a good idea of how I want to kind of solve that problem. Since we have notes here, I'm just going to have it where, and since what you call it, since Google Docs has, what is it? What is this stupid thing called? Since Google Docs has, what is the silly thing? Versioning. Since Google Docs has versioning, I don't have to worry about somebody literally going into the chat and just deleting everything and then trying to be an asshole. Because then I can just revert. Haha. I tried. No, it was really helpful. It was really helpful. Thank you so much. Anyhow, let me give a quick outro since I've been here for forever and a year. Quick outro. So, we covered more or less all the CRUD operations. I don't know if I feel like I covered them in as much as I wanted. So I'll probably give it another once over in the next session. That will be Friday. Um, so I'll probably give it another once over in the next session. Hopefully, well, yeah, right. Um, After that, probably we will, maybe do maybe a little bit more. Oh, we'll probably do database design. Um, so it will be like trying to normalize databases and stuff like that. Still under the idea of the what you call it theme of the to do theme, and more than likely that normalized database is what we will end up using in our application in our application. It's my application, damn it. In the application. After that, we will start with API design, where I write really bad Node or really bad Express code. It will be fun for the whole family. You get to laugh at me. Ha 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 ha. Right. So I mentioned YouTube a bunch of times. I have a YouTube channel. The It's literally the same name as the Twitch channel, ChadRStewart. So, um, this VOD will end up on YouTube. I don't have any videos specifically that is outside of Twitch, outside of the Twitch stream currently. I don't have any videos of that yet. That is my intention. So I would highly encourage. I would really appreciate if you subscribed. That's the terminology on YouTube. You subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really appreciate a follow for Twitch. Really appreciate that. You know what I did not do? I did not do the follow and subscription stuff so that it shows up in chat, because I have not been saying howdy do to new subscribers to new followers. Um, but yeah. So I think that's good enough. So the next stream will be on Friday. Um, I mentioned scheduling before. This is like the first stream in the new schedule. I may stream on Sundays. I don't have it in my schedule because I don't want to say I will and don't. So I may do it. It'll probably be haphazard. So I want to say for sure Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'll be streaming for this period of time from 9 to 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's 12:30 now because I have found that I talk a whole bunch of foolishness for 30 minutes before I actually get started. So I need to put that buffer so that I can actually talk my whole bunch of foolishness. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you everybody for watching and listening to me babble. I hope at the very end the me talking about I didn't end up necessarily talking about my journey, but talking about um, um, getting jobs in the first place. I hope that's helpful for people. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. In the next one. Why am I Marquise? Is that his name? Why am I a Marquise all of a sudden? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And then I need to make a sound effect. Or something. And then CS. I need a logo. Somebody give me a logo. My face is not a good logo. Oh man. I'm just gonna copy every single famous YouTuber and so on and so forth, and I'll make all the monies. You know what I mean? Why, hello, internet. I love that guy. I love that statement. That makes me know that I'm going to watch a crash course or something. uh, I'm gonna go turn up. I'm gonna go click the stop streaming button now. Okay. All right. Have a good one. Later.